Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to discuss about a topic naming political theory, meaning and approaches. Now this topic constitutes the very first topic of political science optionals in UPSC. Now what makes it very important is the terms which are being discussed here, like political theory, political science, political philosophy. What is the major differences between political science and political theory? How political theory is different from political thought, political ideologies. So these are the very basic terms, and when you will be getting through the whole syllabus of UPSC, PSIR, you will be witnessing these terms on regular intervals. So understanding these terms makes it very important and makes it very difficult also. So we will try to solve and reduce the difficulty for you here. So first topic which we will discuss here is political theory, the meaning of political theory. Then we will look into the meaning of political theory and political science and political ideology and how they are related to each other. Sorry, political ideology is a quite different thing. We'll jump onto that later on. But now we will look into the correlation between political theory, political science and political philosophy. So let's discuss about political theory first. Now if you look into this political theory, so this term is made up of two words. One is theory, one is political. Now we will first understand about theory because it's a broader concept, and when we will understand about the meaning of theory, we can easily understand about the meaning of political theory whole. So what is the meaning of theory first? Now theory is a set of ideas, you can say set of ideas, or you can say that it's an analysis of certain thing, and on the basis of analysis you are figuring out about something. Now this is quite a vague thing like something, anything. So for that let me give you an example. Now when Gandhiji came to India in 1916 almost, so what he did first, I mean, he visited throughout the country. He went through the different circumstances. He tried to analyze the working of Britishers, how they are exploiting the Indians, what are their economic policies, what are their strategic and military instruments through which they are enforcing that exploitation on Indians. And after that analysis, he brings out certain set of principles, certain set of ideas to counter, or you can say to fight the Britishers. And what was those things? So non-violence and mass strike, hunger till death. So these kind of instruments he utilized throughout the national movement, and ultimately we got our independence in 1947. So what was those principles, and from where those principles came? That is the question. So we can say that that was the Gandhiji's theory, though we cannot say that theory because theory is sometime related to certain space and certain time, but Gandhiji's theories were like universal in nature. Those theories are still in very much convenience and very much in use in our current time period, in contemporary time period, but still we can name those a theory. So what we are witnessing here is those theory came out of certain circumstances. That means colonial period was there, Britishers were exploiting us, so there was a circumstance. Gandhiji came and he analyzed whole scenario, whole circumstances of that time period. Now on the analysis, what he did, analyzed, and first he described the situation. Now what is happening actually there? Then he criticized that they are not doing good thing, they are doing bad thing. So criticism. Now after criticism, he gave certain prescriptions, like what should we do right at that particular time period, what our Indian should do at that particular time period. So he did three things. One is description, one is criticism, and one is prescription. Now, so this was his theory, his methodology. Now what was the basis of his analysis, how he analyzed things? Now there must be some methodology. through which he would have analyzed the scenario, the situation of that particular time period. So his analysis was based on three things also. Like we can say any analysis of any particular theory is totally based on three kind of mechanisms, three kind of methodologies, three kind of tools. And those tools are, one is empirical analysis. Empirical, I'll explain these terms. Then comes the reasoning, the common reasoning through our mind. And third comes the evaluation. Now these three terms you should understand it, because these three terms constitutes the base of any theory throughout the world, whatever it is. So what is the meaning of empirical analysis, empirical approach? So let me give an example. When you are standing on your roof and you are throwing a piece of like apple from your roof. Now usually you do your reasoning like through gravity it will hit the ground. Yeah, that is reasoning, that constitutes the reasoning. But what happened then? You came down to the ground like and checked the whether that apple piece hit the ground or not, and then you will collect the data like here this piece of apple came in this certain minute, this particular minute. Now after that you went again on the 6th floor, I mean you were earlier you were on the 5th floor, and after that you went to the 6th floor, and again you threw that particular piece and then came back and then analyzed the time period in which that piece of apple came down. Now over the analysis and over the factual collection you try to figure out certain phenomena, certain pattern कि इतने टाइम में यहाँ आता है, ये इतने टाइम में यहाँ आता है. So that's called empirical analysis. That means you are collecting certain data and on those data you are analyzing your theory. So that becomes empirical analysis. We talked about reasoning. What is evaluation? Now evaluation is certainly based on moral judgment, or you can say the value judgment. Now what is the meaning of moral? Moral means certain principles. Now let me give you again an example. Like you have believed that touching the feet of your elder person in your family constitutes the respect toward them. You are paying respect toward them. And if someone is coming in your family and he is not doing the same thing, you will find it morally wrong. That means you created a principle in your mind, a standard of judging something whether he is doing right or wrong. That means touching feet in your mind is a highly good thing, highly moral thing. But if someone is not touching the feet, it's possible that the feet touching value is not inculcated in that particular person's mind. So that's why he is not touching the elder's feet, but you are touching and you are finding it highly immoral. So these are the standards. Morals are the standards to judging someone whether he is doing a good thing or bad thing. So evaluation is oftenly based on morals. Morals means what? Again, like let me explain it in political scenario. Now suppose in a society, suppose we talk about India. Let's suppose we're talking about India's parliamentary system, and we know that in India's parliament the participation of women are only 14%. Since our independence, only 14%. So in a way you'll find it highly injustice approach towards women, because they constitutes almost 48% of population, and still they are not well represented in our legislative assembly, in our parliament. So this is a form of injustice. But कुछ लोगों के लिए ये चीज़ injustice नहीं होगी, खासकर अपने नेताओं के लिए, because they are not passing that women reservation bill in parliament to reserve 33% seats for the women. So वो उनके लिए injustice नहीं है. So that is the evaluation process. So whole things comes onto the theory. That means, now let me define it for you. So theory means a set of ideas based on analysis which trying to describe criticize and then prescribe the situations, the ideas is theory. Now we talked about three terms: description, criticism, and prescription. And we discussed about three methods of analysis. One is empirical, one is rationality based, and third one is prescriptive. Now what we are conferring out of it is the theory which is based on any of these analyses, like on the basis of empirical analysis, on the basis of rational analysis, or on the basis of prescription based analysis, will constitutes a theory. Or let me change the language: any idea which is an outcome of empirical, I'm talking about in discrete sense, only empirical or only reasoning based or only prescription based, is also constitutes a theory. So in a nutshell, I want to say that in a theory, it's not important that whatever is being proposed is totally based on empirical reasoning and prescriptive values. No, it might be possible that it's only relying on empirical analysis. It's also possible that it is totally based on reasoning, and it's also possible that it is totally based on value judgment. Now let me give you an example. If you look into the Plato's and Aristotle's theory, suppose Plato's theory of justice or philosopher king, that was totally based on prescription, that was totally based on values. There was no any empirical analysis in that particular thing. Similarly, when you look into Rawls' theory of justice, that also was a totally prescription based theory, totally normative theory. And when you jump onto the Aristotle's theory of revolution, theory of equality, those things were based on empirical analysis. Though that theory was based on empirical analysis. Machiavelli's theory of prince was empiricism based theory. So we need to understand this. Now I think आपने इसे अच्छे से समझ लिया होगा. Now we will discuss about the meaning of political. Now we have completed almost 80% of this particular term, political theory. Now we will just look into the meaning of political, and then we will combine the both concept, political and theory. Now political means what? So let me first tell you the genesis of the word political. So political word comes from the word polis, which is being used in ancient Greece, and it means city state. Now don't confuse with the term city state and with today's situation, or you can say today's nation state. That city state was a very small community constituting almost thousands of people. Now what was happening there? There is no concept of private things. Whatever is happening in that society was happening on the public floor. Every community, every people out of that community coming together on a central platform, and they are discussing about different scenarios, different opportunities. Now how they are going to live, what will they eat throughout the time period, throughout their journey, who will be protecting him, protecting them. So these questions are being answered in the community, on the debates, on the discussions. And what was the result? They sought for, they try to establish a government, a state, a authority. Now here I'm not talking about the type of authority, it's autocratic, monarchy, democracy, that doesn't matter. I'm talking about authority which will fulfill the interest of the whole community. Now to assist that authority, that state, these people try to establish few institutions. Now these institutions will assist the state to function its day-to-day performance. Now these institutions are related to public, so and doing what, the political activity. So we can say that these institutions are political institutions. So what is the meaning of political? So political is a collection of people, a collection of whole community in which people are discussing, deliberating, debating about different things and trying to conclude on certain conclusion for the betterment of the whole society. And for that they are establishing the government and associated political institutions, and those political institutions will thereby work for the betterment of the whole community. I'm not talking about individual, I'm talking about whole community, because this life was this life was a form of collective life, not a private life. Whatever is there is going to be utilized for the whole society. So we need to understand this. So political means that political institutions which are working for the betterment of whole community, whole society, is political. Now what is the meaning of political theory then? See, political theory in a single line, we can say that systematic study of political phenomena. Now wait for a second. So as I told you the meaning of political, now here's yes Woolen, ये भाई साहब यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं. He said that out of all authoritative institutions, political institutions perform those functions which are common and beneficial to the whole community. I told you the exact same thing which S. Woolen said. Now, so political came from word polis, city, state. I told you these kind of things. Present scenario, political, personal are separated. You know that. Now, what is the meaning of political theory? So, political theory is the systematic knowledge of political phenomena. Now, here comes the important question. What is the meaning of political phenomena? So, phenomena means कोई घटना होती है. I think कोई घटना हो रही है. So, एक community level पे कौन सी घटना होगी? एक political level पे कौन सी घटना होगी? What are the events going to be happened on a political level? Obviously, people are deliberating on certain policies. That is also a phenomena. And they are electing a government, so they are going for voting. So electoral performance is also a political phenomena. So any systematic study of political phenomena is called political theory. Now, as I explained you here, I talked about any political theory or any theory consists empiricism, rationality, reason, and evaluation. Okay, I told you any theory based on these criteria, these analysis. Now, if a political theory is being proposed based on these three analysis, these three criteria, these three approaches, you will find that empiricism and rationality constitutes a science. Now let me explain it. In science, what we usually do? In science, what we do actually, we try to analyze the environment, analyze our different scientific phenomena based on certain facts, like why sun is rising in the east, why season changed. So these questions are being answered through the scientific analysis, through empirical data, and also through reasoning. So these constitute science. Now evaluation means value based judgment. Now in philosophy, what a philosopher actually does, he try to find truth, and how he try to find the truth? By deep contemplation. Deep contemplation means he goes for the meditation, and वो meditation करके एक theory निकालता है. So usually that philosophical approach is based on values. So philosophy is related to value and empiricism and rationality related to science. Now, if you look into the backdrop, we discussed about political theory. We are discussing about political theory, and in political theory, the analysis or systematic analysis of any particular political phenomena. So this is the systematic analysis, empiricism, rationality, evaluation. Now this political empiricism, political rationality and political evaluation somehow constitutes a science. So can't we say that this science is a sort of political science? And this evaluation, this value is a sort of political philosophy because it is analysis of a political phenomena. And if you look into the definition of political science, it tries to form a generalized conception based on empirical analysis, based on based on facts, cause effect relationship, based on quantitative judgment. That means it tries to collect data, collect different observation, and upon that it tries to demarcate, tries to draw any particular theory. So that is political science, and value based judgment create political philosophy. So we can say that political theory contains both political science and political philosophy. Now we'll look into the different thinkers, what they said about political theory. So if you talk about Sabine, so Sabine said that political theory is disciplined investigation of political problems. So obviously I told you that political phenomena means anything which is related to the politics. So that doesn't make difference whether it's a positive phenomena or it's a negative phenomena, whether it's creating problem for the society or whether it's creating a benefit for the society. So Sabine said that political theory is the disciplined investigation of political problem. ये रहे आपके Sabine साहब, इन्होंने अपनी बुक A History of Political Theory में बात कही थी. Now then comes David Held. So according to David Held in his book Network of Conception and Generalization about Political Life Involving Ideas, this is what he said about political theory is it's a network of concepts and generalization about political life involving ideas, assumptions and statements about the nature, purpose and key features of the government, state and society, and about the political capabilities. So exactly the same thing which I told you about the political theory, and these are the things, and perform the function of description, criticism, reconstruction. Let me give you an example. When in Peloponnesian War, when Athens was defeated by Sparta in Platonian time period, so Plato proposed the theory of philosopher king. Now on the basis of analysis of that defeat in Peloponnesian War, he criticized the sophist regime which was there in ancient Athens and tries to give a theory of philosopher king. That was, in a short way, he was doing the work of reconstruction. So you'll find these three values, these three functions in Plato's theory, political theory: empirical dimension, rational dimension, evaluative dimensions. So now we will talk about nature of political theory. So as I said, you cannot be confined to scientific analysis, value based judgment are also necessary. So in a sort way, you cannot confine it to only political science or to only political philosophy. It contains both. The analysis is based on these both things. So these are the things are written there. We'll look into the some philosophers like Catiline and Andrew Hacker. Both said the same thing. Like according to Catiline, political theory has two major components. One is political science, second one is political philosophy. Political science deals with the facts of political life, real situation, laws governing the actual behavior. Political philosophy deals with the values, what is good for. I'm just dictating it because I already explained these things to you. So this was the whole concept of political theory. and how political theory related with the political science and political philosophy, and what is the meaning of political science and political philosophy. Now listen, about political science and about political philosophy, we will discuss about it in very detail when we will be getting further, when we'll read about behavioral movement in political theory in next one or two videos. So we will be discussing about political science in very detail, and when we will be discussing about Plato's theory, then we'll discuss about the political philosophy, because he was considered as the father of political philosophy. So we will look into that in very detail at that particular time period. So that's it for today's video. I hope you liked it and everything was crystal clear, is crystal clear before you. If you are finding it difficult to understand, make sure watch it again and again and again, until and unless you are not categorical with the all concepts. Don't skip on other topics onto other theories, like other topic of the syllabus like theory of state, which is the next topic, and try to understand each and every concept here. Thank you so much for listening me. I hope everything went good. So please like, subscribe, and make sure to give your valuable suggestions and feedbacks. I'll be acceptable to those things because I'm working for the motivation, and your words will be highly motivating for me. Thank you so much. Have a good day.